Okay, good morning. Welcome to
FamilyMath number 317.
FamilyMath317. So we were playing around on Mathematica today with some of the divisors. Okay, so we looked at some factors of integers, like 49 is an example that's up right now. We looked at the length of the list of divisors. So 49 had a total of 3 divisors. Why is that not a surprise?
Because it's a square.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why does it have 3 if it's a square?
Because it's a square of primes. It's 7 squared.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just 149 and 7.
Yeah, 149 and 7, but you can't count the other 7.
Okay, and then what we were specifically looking at today is the total, or the sum, of the divisors, which in this case for 49 was 57. So I'll let you do a little bit of exploring, and what are some of the things that you found when you explored?
Well, we looked at the list plot function and found what was the highest.
I think we did it up to like 10,000.
Okay, so you did a list plot up to 10,000.
And then we found what that really big one was.
Do you remember what it was?
I think it was like 9,042 or something.
It was 9,240.
9,240? Okay, so let's put that in up here.
It had like a lot. It had somewhere around 3,400 divisors, I think.
9,240?
Yep.
Alright. So the sum of the divisors there is 34,560, and it has 64 divisors.
Wow.
But there is something else that's pretty interesting about 9,240. What do you notice about that number?
Well, it has 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s, and 11s in it.
Okay, why is that interesting?
Well, it's the first 5 primes. Is it the first number that uses... No, it's not the first number that uses for the first 5 primes.
Okay.
The first one would be 2 times 3 times 5 times 7 times 11.
Yeah, so interestingly, 9,240 is a pretty big number, and it has a big divisor sum. But actually, it's a fairly simple number.
Yeah.
In that it factors into very simple primes.
Yeah.
So that's a strange surprise, actually.
Yeah.
But that has the highest divisor sum. And if we zoom, oh geez, sorry, I left the screensaver coming on in a minute. I forgot to change that. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. That's a cool thing you noticed. You found the largest one, 9,240, and you found that it was actually a fairly simple number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. What else did you discover when you were playing around with this?
Well, we used that for loop. We used that for loop to find if there were like any. We were doing it up to 100. So it was that if I is greater than 1 and I is less than 101, so it would go up to 100.
Okay. So you were looking at the divisor sums up to 100. And what are some things that you noticed when you did that?
Well, I noticed that the prime divisor sums are 1 more than the prime. Like, if it were 7, then it would be 8.
Ah, okay. And why should that be true?
Well, because the primes, the only divisors are 1 and the prime itself.
Okay. So the divisor sum for a prime number is actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
In fact, it is just 1 more than the prime.
And
Okay. Oops, sorry about that.
and also the squares divisors are always odd.
Ah! So we came up with you came up with a conjecture that the divisors for the squares, the sum of the divisors for the squares is always odd. All right, let's talk about that in our next movie. Okay?
All right.